evening and welcome to the Highgate Selectboard meeting for December 1st, 2022. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Do we have any public comment that is not already on the agenda? Okay. Second order of business. Reorganization of the select board. As many of you already know, our vice chair, Kyle Lothian, has resigned, saying that he could not fulfill his duties at this time. So we wish Kyle the very best. He was a fabulous member, but at this time we will need to have a vice chair. So we will take nominations for vice chair.
Nominee Vern.
I nominate Richard. Guess we should have talked about this.
Okay. I'll second Vern. Chris, you gonna second Richard? Is that how this is gonna work?
I can second Richard.
Okay, yeah. So, all in favor of Vern as vice chair, say aye.
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 You know what? It's all right because we did this to Kyle.
Okay.
Coming back around.
So Vern, you are now the new vice chair. Congratulations.
I'm good for now. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Chair.
Shelley.
And not next. Sid.
Is there going to be an appointment of the vacant seat, or?
We haven't decided yet. We were still thinking about how many meetings were left before town meeting.
Okay.
Because there's no other public meeting in December.
Yeah,
So it gives you basically 4 meetings.
yeah.
I guess we haven't really decided that part yet. I mean, I'm certainly open to discussion, but
Well, whoever you would appoint would need to run in March anyway.
correct.
So it's up to you guys if you want to go through that process.
Seems like a lot of work for a very short period of time. It's going to have to be filled by vote anyway.
Think we get better week.
I'm fine with waiting until March. Unless there's a need where we can't have a permanent quorum.
Right, that would be the only thing, is if we couldn't reach a quorum. Or if we had a tie.
Yeah.
Okay, so for now, we'll table it. If that changes, we'll bring it back up at a public meeting. Okay, Shelley.
I will pass it to your planning commission. Luke is here to speak about the capital budget this evening.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I did skip you, didn't I?
Yep, you did.
Sorry.
You're good?
Okay, so we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago to go over the capital improvement budget for the 23-24 year, I guess. And I guess we'll start right off with the complex, town office. We've got nothing in there for this time around. We go to the Parks and Recs department. We put aside $10,000 for an eventual new Zamboni. We we've got 10,000 in there. The arena roof, we're putting 20,000 in our proposed budget. The zero-turn mower, the 72-inch, putting 5,000 towards its eventual replacement. Department vehicle truck, we decided not to put anything in it this year. And the gazebo stage, we decided to put 17,000 towards that. According to the estimated cost, it should cover it. The building materials and the roof of that. The Highgate Public Library, we put 50,000 towards its eventual construction. And then the Highgate Volunteer Fire Department, we decided on 10,000 towards the eventual replacement of the newest fire engine, so it's a years down the road project. 30,000 towards the replacement of the fire engine number 2. 35,000 towards the tanker truck. And 10,000 towards the eventual replacement of the utility truck. I'm not sure I put totals here. For the total for the volunteer, the fire department is 85,000. And Parks and Rec was 62,000. Let's get over that. Okay, Public Works, Highway Department. We decided on 10,000 towards the eventual replacement of the grader. 15,000 towards the eventual replacement of the John Deere loader. 30,000 towards the eventual replacement of the backhoe. 50,000 towards the eventual replacement of the 2014 Western Star tandem truck. 20,000 towards the replacement of the compact truck. 50,000 towards the replacement of the single axle truck. And 25,000 towards the eventual replacement of the 2020 tandem truck. For a total of 200,000 for the Public Works Department. In and around the town capital budgets, we put 25,000 towards the transfer station slope stabilization phase 2 project. 25,000 towards the Macy Road slide. And 25,000 towards the Village Core Master Plan for, I guess we would call it, funds for matching grants that they may get. And that's a total of 75,000 there. For a total of $472,000 for proposed budget.
Okay. Shelley, can you remind us how much last year's capital improvement was?
I knew you were gonna ask as soon as he finished, and my brain is mush, and I didn't even bring it. I believe from last meeting it was 412.
I'm thinking 407.
7. Right here. Thank you. 407,500.
Okay, so I don't know what the rest of the board feels, but I'd like to review a couple of these, and I can tell you that I was at the meeting with the planning commission, and we did trim a lot, but considering the price of everything else that we have to deal with in the budget, I'm thinking maybe we need to trim a little more. So, what does the board think?
ARPA funds.
We could.
To make up the difference.
The ARPA funds must be getting low, ain't they?
Well, everybody wants a piece of them,
I don't
but
think we spent anything though,
Oh,
have we?
well, I don't know if we have, but every meeting,
Yeah.
we go, let's go to the ARPA funds, and I wonder how much, how long that goes on.
Goes on until we spend it down to zero. I think we got till spring of 24, right? To spend that money. But for capital improvement, I think it's good use for it.
so I have a few questions. So rec department.
Yeah,
There was some discussion about the indoor turf field house. What exactly did you mean by that?
that was originally it was for indoor turf. Because sales for indoor turf, it would take 50 years to, probably not really 50 years, but it would take a lot of years to pay for the cost of indoor turf
Okay,
in its current location.
okay.
So that's a wish list of someday having an indoor, a second facility that would be for non-ice. It was our intentions to not put any funds in there. How we saw the CIP was, we should be putting things in that we're gonna see years down the road, and even if we don't put any funding in, at least it's public knowledge that someday we want to do that. Someday we know the zero turn, there's nothing wrong with it now, but we know
Right.
zero turn is going to fail someday. Is how I thought of it.
Okay, parking lot. We have an estimated year for replacement of 2023. So, are you planning on using that $10,000 this coming year to repave or crack seal or?
We have the spot in the rear of the arena in front of the new garage is Sherpat stone that, and all the pavement between the arena that is there is all spider web, and we tend on replacing that.
Okay,
But as the highway department realized, for paving, it's gone up substantially, so.
yeah. The roof. This is just for the eventuality of changing the roof.
We have a quote, our roof is currently leaking
Okay,
in multiple spots. We got a company to come in and give a quote. I don't have it on me today, but yeah, it's their suggestion was the metal is in good shape. There's a silicone spray that they spray over tin roofing.
okay.
I would
Keep it from pitting and.
yeah, pull the screws that need to be pulled and replaced and spray over it, so, yeah, we gotta do something with the roof because it's original as far as I know, except for the one end that burned in the 80s.
Okay. And then gazebo slash stage.
That is for, if we continue to hold summer sounds at the arena. It was great for Art to donate the trailer, but that's not a permanent solution for a stage.
Right.
And we got some prices on some aluminum portable staging, and that's about what that was.
Okay. Also, when we talked about the Public Works Planning Commission and the fire department, there was some talk of the fact that some of these units scheduled for replacement, their biggest problem is the bodies on them. So instead of placing a large amount of money toward replacing the truck that might have a good body, or a good frame and work, we talked about using some of the ARPA money to put stainless steel boxes on the fire department's utility truck and the highways F-350. In order to make those have a longer sustainable life. Which is where we did talk about using some of that ARPA money.
Now, I talked to Butch about the utility truck, and what he was saying is, if they'd like to get a box that unloads, it has the moving chain, and what he said, if he had that, and then when they replace the utility, just move the box. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
This is what he said to me.
right, that's kind of along the line of having a stainless steel box.
Well, I just wanted to bring up that
Right.
he wanted the chain, it move it in the
Yeah.
bottom. Is that right, Lou?
Yeah, it's actually gonna replace that sander that we have, because that's not gonna last too much longer either. So if we have a regular box with that chain and the spinner, we won't have to continue unloading it and loading it, we use the box, the dump box quite often. So we're taking the sander out like more than normal people would, the guys that go around. And that would save us, if we have salt on, we need box, we just go dump the salt out. We got a dump truck, dump box on 550.
Right, the dump box isn't in that good shape, is it?
No, so we didn't know if the 550 was gonna be replaced in 3 years or something like that. If so, we didn't wanna put a stainless steel box on that one. We just wanted to buy a cheaper box for now to put on that one. And then when we trade, the whole thing would go. And then the new one, the new truck would have the spinner, the good box, which costs quite a bit more. So we could do it two different ways. If we bought the box with the spinner now, then we'd have to take it off with the new, when we trade it in.
Right.
It's kind of like, can we get anything for the 550 without a dump box on it, you know, what would we get?
I don't think you're gonna get much anyway. Irregardless. We've got it down to 15,000. You'd probably be awful lucky if you got that.
So if we go on the high end, we'd wanna put a box on that one that can do 2 jobs in one, and then keep that box for the next newer truck.
Right.
Or put a cheap one on and let it go.
You know, the problem is if the cheap one doesn't last until you're getting rid of the truck,
Right, it all
then
depends
you've
when you
wasted
trade.
all that money.
It all depends
We spend a lot of money on equipment.
How do you feel about that? Do you think we should go with something more expensive and then just trade just the truck itself and keep the box? Or is it
I guess what I'd
in the
like,
future?
I'd like to see some quotes on what it was. How much it was.
It's like double, I think.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what
Yeah.
a standard box would cost at this point, the way the prices are with everything.
Sharon, I know at one time there was talks from Clark's trucks, of doing a leased vehicle for the dump truck. Has there been any looking into it with the new owners? If there's options still there for that to alleviate some of this cost? of
Well, I
replacing
think we'd
trucks?
have to go back through and redo, you know, I know Butch had looked a little bit at that last time. But we have to go back and recheck, I know the pricing schedule at Allegiant, which is the new company, tends to be extremely high.
Not recommended by the auditors either.
Oh, is it?
I did ask them this summer if we don't have to lease, if there is an option, they would prefer towns do not. And there's other reporting requirements associated with leasing equipment.
Yeah, salvage and everything. So, board,
Got a question about the 2014 tandem truck. Just going through the numbers here. Estimated replacement is gonna be 250,000. Looks like we got 110 put away so far. 50, looks like 50,000 in grants.
no, that's resale value.
No, the
No.
50,000.
Oh,
The grant,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
50,000 in grants and then 50,000 for resale. I just worked the numbers across the side up to the replacement, which is scheduled for next year. If we do that, we'll have 310,000 in capital for a $250,000 truck. That's gonna be brand new.
It's not 250,000 anymore.
Okay, what is it now?
Right now you would have a minimum of 275, and that's if you could get it on the spot, which you can't. You have about a year waiting time.
Okay.
Is that all said and done, Sharon, or do we have add-ons?
275 would get you the truck and the dump body, but you'd still have
The
add-ons.
add-ons.
How much for add-ons?
you'd wanna put at least another 50 on there.
Another 15,000,
Yeah,
that brings it up to roughly 300.
yeah.
Right, well, there's 60 grand in savings that I tried to find.
Yeah, good job. And
Okay.
it doesn't mean that because we have it scheduled for a 2024 replacement, doesn't mean it has to be a 2024 replacement either. This can be on a vehicle by vehicle basis.
It can, but the purpose of this is to get
Right.
it more stable and on a schedule, so the CIP evens out at some point. So I agree that, yes, it's case by case, and some vehicles aren't ready for replacement when their year is up, but
Right.
the CIP is never going to regulate when we keep pushing and pushing and pushing back.
Right, but we also need to get a full life out of some of this stuff that gets replaced a little sooner than
Yes.
regular maintenance could prevent.
And just as a point of clarification, none of those $50,000 grants are in hand, they're just
Projected,
potential.
yep.
We could apply.
Well, that's like the tanker, you know, in the fire department. I can see, big money for the engine, but when it comes to tanker, I don't think we need a $300,000 tanker. I don't know,
I don't know
what
how
you.
much a tanker is, I would.
Well, because, you know, I know we ain't gonna get a deal like we got on the other one,
Right.
but, you know, if you can go around the same lines,
Right.
one, you know, I don't think we need to look at a brand new one.
Right.
That's my thought.
You're far from that amount anyway.
Yeah,
I know, but, yeah. Just wanted to bring it up.
By the time it's ready, it might be 300.
Or 4. Yeah.
So are we looking to shave off some things here?
Well, I'm not comfortable going up.
It's $65,000 difference.
Right. It's rough right now for everybody. And we have a large elderly population. It's gonna be hard enough to heat their homes this winter and get food. I hate to throw on one more added problem.
You know, given that we don't have a new library, I wonder if it's really prudent to put money into the library relocation fund when we
Well,
don't have a library to relocate yet?
They're going forward with theirs, but an indoor, turf arena isn't even, they don't have property, no nothing. I mean, so that's completely, cart before the horse. The library fund is actually, they are going forward with, the village core group.
I don't see anything allocated for the indoor turf though.
It isn't, but they have $30,000 in reserve that could be reallocated. And the arena has, or the rec department has $135,000 worth of ARPA funds.
135.
Do you guys have any, does anybody have any plans or thoughts about that money?
We figured we were gonna have to use it for that roof project. This was the last discussion we've had, but
I had somebody approach me about the arena. This is just, since I'm the messenger, this was brought to my attention. Since Ty was here. One of the parents that has approached me in the last couple of days was wondering about if they could do a bathroom and a locker and a sink in the boys' locker room. I guess the boys have been using the main door, is what I'm hearing, and they have to go to the bathroom because there's no bathroom in the boys' locker room. Is this correct, Todd?
No.
Okay, I'm not in it, this was just brought to my attention a couple days ago. And they know I go to the select board meetings, and I'm just bringing this up, because this was brought to my attention a couple days ago.
There's a restroom in there.
Okay, but there's no shower in the main boys' locker room, correct?
There is a shower also.
Okay, I don't know, this has been brought to my attention.
Are you talking the high school?
No, the Highgate Arena.
Yes. I
The
think
high
it is.
school locker rooms.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. This was just brought to my attention, and they know I go to the select board meetings, and I'm letting this, I don't know.
So it has a bathroom and a shower.
Yes. It doesn't have a sink,
Okay?
and the shower hasn't been used in 3 years. Well,
Okay.
They put a new
Some-
stool, they put a new stool.
Someone's child is not using the shower as the parent would like.
Okay.
And the new stool this year, last year.
Okay. Okay, thanks, John.
So did you have quotes for the roof tie?
We got one quote, I don't have it with me tonight.
Okay.
It was a lot.
Okay. So there's 100.
What's the vehicle truck for the Parks and Recreation?
Right now it's for nothing, because we're not putting any money on it. Ty, you can answer that question better than I can, because I don't know.
Eventually, a lot of times we run the 1 ton to get stuff that just a 1/2 ton pickup could go. Currently, both our employees are using their own vehicles when we go to Grizzly Graphics to get shirts, and Kevin Smith's to get equipment. It works now, but, and it works in the summertime. We schedule things on Fridays when the highway guys are on their 4 days work week, but eventually the efficiency would need a vehicle in our thoughts.
Any other questions about the budget?
Alright, so I did the same thing with a different truck, but tell me if the cost of this truck is what we're estimating, the same 2016 International Single Axle. You had an estimated replacement cost of $250K. Is that right, or is it gonna be higher?
It should be higher because, I would like to see us go back to a tandem, where when you put the wing on, you're not already overloaded.
So looking at probably another $300,000 truck then.
Right.
Okay, so for that one, if you carry the numbers out to the projected replacement, assuming the grants and the resale value and all that, and what we appropriate, which is, looks like $50,000 every year. By the time we replace it in the end of FY 20, what is it, FY 25?
Yeah.
Then we'll have, if I do the numbers right, $365,000 in the bank for a $300,000 truck. If we keep appropriating the same amount of money every year until the replacement, there's a little bit to play with there.
Yeah.
All the other trucks I went through, they're within wiggle room of, everything going up. This one seems to have the most spare room to play with, roughly $65K. If I'm doing my math right.
So, what about if we used 50,000 of the ARPA money? Say we take, you can say it's for the library, or you can say it's for the 2014 Western Shire, or you can say it's for the 7400. All three of those have 50,000. And cut that off our capital improvement plan. That would let the capital improvement plan increase, but not much. Take $50,000 of that ARPA money and spend it there. And then investigate the real costs of stainless steel bodies for both the utility in the fire department and the utility in the highway department. That would leave you at, what, 422.5, which wouldn't be a huge increase for the taxpayer, am I correct, Shelley? It would go up a little, which does unfortunately reflect the way of the world right now, but it would also keep it manageable for our taxpayers.
So the way the warning would read
Yes?
is just as our budgets do. We would be asking for $472,000 with $50,000 offset by ARPA, and asking the taxpayers for $422.
Yes.
So they can see that you are using your ARPA and the full budget for the CIP.
Right. Is that yay, nay? What are your thoughts?
Happy with it.
We didn't really answer the question about the truck. If we're looking at the truck, the savings is already built into that truck being over budgeted right now. So do you want to keep contributing that extra 50,000 to your regular replacement, which we don't really need to?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
what I'm thinking is that we went very, very conservative on the town portion of the budget, 75,000 versus all the others. That's not gonna hold. Projects come up and we've put, hundreds of thousands of dollars away for different things before. I expect that'll happen again. I guess I'd save that
We can reallocate
extra
that.
padding, yes,
Okay.
for the future, because we might have to cut next year's budget on that truck or
Okay.
another truck.
My one other question was under the, our never-ending transfer station slope stabilization,
Yes.
Nature Road, Village Court. If we're looking to get back to the 407 or close to it, cut $5,000 off each of those, that's 15 grand. I was just trying to get back down to the 407 between the truck and these, but not using ARPA.
Right.
But if you want to use ARPA, I'm not opposed to it because we need to start using it.
I guess I'd leave it at 25. 25 for this transfer station and the Macy Road. Tentatively, they're paid for, but that's only tentatively, and that's only at the current cost calculations, which we know is not gonna hold for the future, and probably is not good at the moment. So that's just to give us just a little bit of inflation cost, because we know it's gonna cost more than what we budgeted so far, because neither of these projects have started. The $25,000 for the village core keeps them on task and keeps them moving forward with match money in order to apply for grants. So I would rather not cut the town capital projects, only because they were 50 apiece and we have them already.
We have to keep putting money towards it to get the grants though?
You have to have something to have match.
So you gotta show something.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with your logic there.
Yeah, we may, God willing, we may have an extra $25,000 after the project's done. But unfortunately, it's probably not likely. But at least we won't have to take much money out of our regular budget
Sure.
if we have a minor. But yeah, if you don't wanna take that amount of money out of ARPA, then yes, we could certainly cut down, 2016 International, we could also cut down on the loader and the grader.
Do you wanna make it level to the 407, cause, let me just look at something. So that single axle that we wanna make into a tandem, estimate that at 300 conservatively. That's one that, by the time's all said and done at the end, it looks like we got 365,000 put towards it, so we could take 15 grand off of that, make that a $35,000 contribution a year of replacement instead of 50. And that would bring us down to, with the ARPA money that you're talking to, down to 407. We'd be level to what we were last year.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That'd still give us, what I'm seeing, at least 35 grand of wiggle room on that truck.
Right,
That work?
I'm good with that. Luke?
How much was it, you said?
I would change the single axle 7400 International down to 35 as opposed to 50.
Okay, the replacement cost is 300, and by the time we allocate the money during the replacement year, we'll have, what did I say in there, 350,000 go towards a $300,000 truck. So,
Yeah.
And then we'll use,
What's that public
50.
Works Department, they're the ones who would know, I don't know how much longer lifespan is on that truck, or that's still okay for,
well, we were a little ahead on money because frankly, I didn't think it would last this long, but it's hanging in there for now.
Longevity or life of that vehicle.
Yeah.
It's in the command unit.
So that would leave you at 407.5, same as last year's capital improvement budget, if we do that and 50,000 of ARPA funds.
407,
Yeah, 407.5.
407 even.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
okay, sorry, yeah. Is that agreeable?
we'll go in the right direction.
Okay. I have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. So Shelley has the language,
Yes?
so we are good to go. So, a motion, second?
I second it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Get this entered, updated.
Okay. Thank you, Luke, for all your work. I know that that's a pain in the butt process, but necessary, and I'm sure all of our taxpayers are happy that we do it.
well, like the rest of us, we're all taxpayers.
That's right. That's right.
We don't like to see our bill go up.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Shelley.
Hello. So you have two check warrants this evening, one from the meeting that was canceled, I had already prepared one. That was for November 17th,
Okay.
and then one for this evening.
Okay, so do I have a motion to sign the check warrant for 11/17?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to sign the check warrant from 12/1?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Questions on those? No? Taxes are still coming in. We do have a few abatement requests, and I am thinking I'm gonna get one more, so we'll schedule that meeting. I'll give it a few more weeks anyway, before we schedule an abatement meeting, so be prepared for your invitation. Taxes are coming in for people that forgot mostly and/or paid but paid late, so have paid their balance. The scary total, $420,248. $0.25 is before the Jedward property delinquency. That total is growing, it's up to $287,493.94. So once you remove that, the actual delinquent total is $132,754.31, which is fairly low for this time of year.
Yeah.
So, lots of people calling on payment plans, so that's good. And everyone's pretty well making their payments. Also, there's still free money out there. The Vermont Housing Assistance Program is still paying property taxes and utility bills for people that can't afford it. So please reach out, I have contact information. Your utility company has the contact information. Happy to get that out there to help people with assistance in their bills.
Yeah.
Other than that, I do have the audit back. It is still in the packet, I haven't even opened it yet, so I can either give it to you right after the meeting, or I can shove it in your box for the next one. It's very fun reading material. And that's it, unless you have something for me.
The overall gist of the audit?
Yeah, it's the exact same one thing that's been on there, which Heidi and I are working on. There's, we've got to just get the grants from, it's the receivables and the accruals. It's when we're spending money in one fiscal year, but we are receiving it in another fiscal year, and how we are tracking that and recording that. So basically, we are out of balance, and I just have to respond. Every year, we're getting better, and I think they can confirm that we're one step ahead every year, but they always come in and save the day.
Yeah, well, and they always have to have something to point
Right, that
out.
too,
Yeah,
but
you gotta justify the jobs.
it's not easy, especially that piece. It is the hardest piece of the entire audit. It's probably the hardest piece in the entire office.
Right.
And keeping it all straight is, they help us sort it out and record it properly, so I'm thankful to them.
Well, we're thankful for you too.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Shelley? Okay, we're gonna move right along to Wendy.
Okay, minutes from November 3rd.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to read the minutes from November 3rd?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to sign?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
It was just you, Vern, and Kyle at that meeting, I believe.
Okay, so I'm the second.
Your second.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Quickly, I haven't seen you all since the election. It was super busy that day. We had a total of 1,251 Highgate registered voters cast a ballot. 760 of those were absentee and 491 visited the polls. The vast majority of people were very respectful. I can only think of two that I wanted to pummel, but everybody was great. I want to thank the JPs for helping us pre-process. I can't imagine having had to process all those absentees that day. So pre-processing was great. And the JPs also came in and helped with a ton of write-ins, mostly for the sheriff's race. So we had a lot of that to do. Lots of people brought us snacks, thank you. And thank you to Parks and Rec for the use of the lobby in the arena. That facility works excellent for us. So we had about 57% of our active registered voters participate, which
Wow.
was good.
That is good.
Yep, real good. I know I've mentioned this before, but the school district is asking for a decision on mailing ballots for the school.
Swanton have a vote?
They haven't yet. They don't meet till next Tuesday.
Oh, jeez. Well, we have to make a decision.
You do. They asked for a decision in December. And because I mean, you could make a decision at your budget meeting, I suppose. I don't know what you want to do, or what you want me to do. I am not opposed to the work. I would say my only concern is this gonna be an every year request? And again, I'm not opposed to the work, but are they gonna ask every year for us to mail all the school ballots? I guess depending on the outcome of the vote.
Right.
If they think it'll help get the word out and get more people to participate, and maybe it will, I don't know if it will help it pass or make it fail, I don't know.
What's preventing them from being able to mail them out?
So they are willing to help, but because it comes from the checklist within the individual towns, we would be preparing the labels and stuff like that. They said they could send staff up to help us stuff, but that's really just a small piece of the puzzle. Then they're all coming back. They're not here for that. So, again, Shelley and I have done this before. We did it for the airport infrastructure vote. It can be done, it has been done, but it's not my decision.
My concern would be the turnaround time.
Yes, it's a very tight window. We have to accept petitions to get your name on the ballot until January 30th. So ballots can't even be ordered by the school or the towns until after that date. A week or two to get them back. You're looking at maybe 3 weeks. It's tight.
Yeah. And the option is to have it on our regular ballot,
Say
or
again.
at our regular town meeting.
Right, if all 3 towns do not vote to do this, it would be at the polls only and absentees by request. And I don't want it to look like Highgate doesn't play well with others. I just-
have to go to polls.
I just want to do what's best for the community, best for our schools. I just don't know what that is.
Joan?
Franklin has already voted yes, with a few conditions that MVSD employees do help them get them out.
I say no. I just think you girls got enough. And that's my feeling with everything going on, and I just don't want, I don't want to add more to your plate.
Frankly, I tend to agree with Richard. Not only is it more work for you, we have a floor town meeting anyway. We have the ability to have absentee ballots. I don't see a large draw to sending ballots to everyone. It's more expensive.
The cost would fall to the district, the school district,
Falls on us.
which falls on the
Right
taxpayers.
back on.
So, I don't know.
Gentlemen?
I would agree with the two of you. I don't want to put any more work on the two of you.
I actually think they need more work.
We twiddle our thumbs all day, Vern.
Every time I come in here,
I mean, my concern isn't the work, is more the confusion.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because there still is going to be a floor piece where we're talking big money for
Right,
for the town.
right,
This whole CIP we just chatted about, we're voting on that from the floor.
right.
Our
And we
general-
also have a ballot for the elected officials.
Right.
I like the higher turnout with the mailings, but yes, if we make this just another thing for you guys to have to do, and we have to do it, this not just being the first year, but following on and doing this every year. No, I agree with you guys, and I anticipate more people voting, but maybe we need to put out a better word not absentee. That's what I've always done,
Right,
because I work.
I had planted the seed about the postcards, it's a
Right.
lot cheaper.
Yeah,
Here's
that's
how you can get one, they, I don't know, I've read their minutes, they felt that wasn't
yeah.
successful, but I
Well,
think it helps.
and I think as we put the absentee, or put the ballot, Australian ballot back on the articles
Mm-hmm,
to question,
mm-hmm.
if we go to Australian ballot, then they'll have them next year.
Right, that would be a different ballgame if we could stuff our own in there
Right.
at the same time.
So, can I have an official motion to deny the request?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you for making a decision. I guess all I have left is I did prepare a draft meeting schedule for 2023. Essentially the same as this year, one meeting in July, one regular meeting in December, so you have your other one just for budgeting. First and third Thursdays of the month at 6:30.
Are we gonna do the summers again at 6, or?
Oh,
I know, I just asked.
I
You
just
got a
want to
ways,
I
you
just
got a
want to
ways
go
to
with
go till,
We can-
till summer.
I didn't
Yeah.
know.
We can deal with it at that time if you want. I mean, I liked it at 6. I wish they'd all go to 6, but not everybody agrees, so.
And then,
Can we recommend, or can I recommend the Thursday in August? That's always a conflict with
With
the
you.
demolition derby.
yes,
Have an alternate date for that one meeting.
could we have that in July?
Or move to the night before.
The
What do
night
you, is the
before.
night before too busy?
Yes.
It is.
I mean, is field days in Highgate in 2023? Is that a yes?
Good
Do you
chance.
even know?
I don't think it's going to be.
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I don't know, you got a member of the board sitting behind you.
Got a member of the board sitting beside you.
Mhm.
Our annual meeting, there has been a request to hold field days this coming summer.
In Highgate.
Yeah, out the airport.
So you can change the date now, you can leave it as it is and rewarn it when it gets closer. I don't know. That's, some years it works out fine, some years we have to move it.
Alright, let's deal with it when we get closer. Any other conflicts anyone sees? Okay, do I have a motion to accept the draft meeting schedule?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, and the last thing, I think for me, we're proposing 0 changes in prices to licensed dogs or at the clinic. I think we've had the same fee schedule now, this will be year 5. So if you could just approve that, because I get to start all over with that again in January.
And just to be clear to everyone, the town does not get to keep all of the dog money, that money
No.
is passed along to the state.
Yes, $5 of every dog we license goes to the state. And the rest of that money simply offsets the cost of having an animal control officer.
Boarding.
Yep. And other expenses. We do not make any money licensing dogs.
We do make headaches.
We have a lot
Oh,
of.
yes.
Lots of them, right? So,
Alright, so do I have a motion to accept the dog license schedule?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 okay, that is it for me.
Okay, Heidi.
Hello. Looking for more money, so we are applying for the BRIC grant, which was the FEMA Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities. After talking to a couple consultants, we arrived at a total project cost of $125,500. With 75% of that being covered by FEMA. And the town being on the hook for a 25% match $31,375. So I have to submit that prior to your next meeting, so I want your approval of that amount. And I will say that there is a chance that the 25% would be covered by the state. Vermont Emergency Management does have an ARPA fund, but it is not a guarantee. So to submit, we would have to have a commitment from the select board to contribute that amount to the project.
What project was this again?
It's the FEMA grant, Building Resilient Infrastructure in Communities. It's to do a long-range planning project for the Macy Road.
Okay.
It is looking at the whole stretch of the Macy Road that runs along the Missisquoi and making a decision about what's the best way for the town to invest in saving that in the future.
Yes, because we know that this is a repeat process.
Yeah, when I went through the packet, I had a question about this. Haven't we done this like 3 or 4 times already?
Meaning what?
The studies on the slope.
This is for the entire length of the road, not
Not just the one trouble spot now?
Right,
Okay,
right, yeah, it's trying to find a
okay.
feasible solution,
Actual solution.
yeah, to this problem of the river wanting to.
Is it along the whole riverbank in both towns or just our town?
We're applying for the section in our town, but
Okay.
it's fairly close. You can see the dividing line there. It's fairly close along that section to the Sheldon line. It was your decision to fix that one spot to save the infrastructure and buy out the home to take that family out of danger. But that a long-range plan needs to be developed so that you're not investing $2 million in a weak spot again. And as you saw from those aerial photos, there's already a few other weak spots on that road. So,
Yeah. It will continue to be a problem.
so this is the first long-range planning project. I broke out a grid for you when we were deciding. That was very preliminary numbers. But this would be an in-depth look, relocating the road, or armoring the whole bank, or digging a tunnel through and letting the river have its way.
That might be a big tunnel.
Yeah.
I'm all for
I don't
this project then, if it's for the long term and the whole bank.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You know, we need to not keep spending
Yeah.
megabucks on, you know,
Band-aids.
a 50-foot section.
And other towns would be invited to participate in the planning process, as they are primary users of it also.
Can they
It's a busy
contribute,
road.
can they contribute towards it also?
Well, you could make a plea, but I have no idea.
Okay.
And I noticed that's a similar amount to what you have in the capital budget for stormwater projects. I don't know if you want to allocate it from there, or if you want to determine it to come from another source.
No, I'm okay with it coming from there. Thoughts?
Hello.
If we got money in the fund, right?
Yes.
Where's it
So,
coming from?
The stormwater match grant, that's in the CIP, or grant match.
Why wouldn't it come from the Mason Road slide from?
Cause this is a long-term stormwater project, it could come from either. It's just that we're a little closer on the Macy slide property and estimates than we are on a long-term solution. Long-term solution may take a long term to figure out. Okay, would you like a motion?
Please.
So do we have a motion to, yeah,
It's a busy agenda.
motion to use our CIP money for storm grant match in order to provide the town's portion of the BRIC grant funding as we go forward with long-term solutions for Mesha Road.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Moving right along. Another FEMA project that's funding your transfer station stabilization. You have that money in hand, and we have a contract from Cost Consulting, who will be managing the project for us, continuing to manage the project for us, working along with geodesign. So that contract is in front of you for approval, please.
Okay. And this is a contract for estimated fee of $147,350 with Cross Consulting Engineers. Do I have any discussion? Do I have a motion to sign?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So you have another grant that you were awarded for $30,000, and that's for the Village Core Master Plan to do their Master Plan Phase 2. And the committee met and interviewed all the consultants, and they selected GBA Architecture for this job. And the contract is ready for your signature.
Okay. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to sign?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The town also got the READY grant, the Rural Economic Development Initiative grant for $6,000 for the capital campaign for the new library. They are going to contract directly with CPG, the consulting firm that will help the library come up with a capital budget plan, capital campaign plan, excuse me. So that will not be running money through here, but they will be covering the services for us. And if at the end of the $6,000, the library trustees want more from that contract, they can amend it and contribute money to cover it.
And as I've mentioned before, as part of the library trustees and the librarian and staff are actually using their fundraising money toward the capital campaign. So they are actually putting money into the CIP for the eventual replacement of the library. So they are actually going out and raising money on their own to put into the capital improvement plan.
Just as an update, the Burlington Communications did come today and install a loaner repeater, because the one that you are ordering is still on back order. So they gave us a loaner, it's up and functioning. They came yesterday and today and programmed all the truck radios. So they have improved service, hopefully. Hopefully it's improved service.
See any improvement? Didn't try it.
It's a whole different ballgame than what we're used to. We lost the ability to go truck to truck with the use of the repeater, because you now transmit from the vehicle to the repeater and then back to the other vehicle.
Right.
So if we're working in a bad spot reception-wise, we can't communicate truck to truck, which is proven troublesome 3 times in the last 2 days already.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
we
say.
spoke to them, and there is a simple solution of reprogramming all the radios to what you call the workaround channel. So you use a second channel that does not use the repeater. and that allows you to use your truck-to-truck as you were before.
Okay.
So it's kind of, and he's got some tuning he's gonna do. The loaner repeater is only half the power of our actual repeaters gonna be.
Oh,
So there's still lots of developments to come
okay,
from it.
all right. Well, at least it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
The septic pipe has been repaired. The gentlemen know more about it than I do. If you have any questions on that. And then the last thing that I needed your signature on was the dispatching contract from St. Albans Police Department.
Okay, so the St. Albans Police Department dispatch, their costs have increased. We were $10,905. Their new contract would have us paying $11,451.
That 1 year?
That is a 1 year. In 4 easy installments. Ooh. Any discussion?
I think that's actually a heck of a deal considering the cost of everything else going up.
Now, this is the dispatching for the fire department only, correct?
Correct, because Middlebury
Those hours.
dispatching
Yep.
Sorry.
for the ambulance side is much cheaper than that.
Okay. Do we have a motion to sign?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So I would just bring up also that we've had an ongoing conversation with residents of Back Boulevard about taking over their road. They have moved a mountain and gotten all of the residents to sign an agreement accepting the stormwater permit, which was the concern, and with the exception of one landowner. So it is highly likely that you'll be able to get that landowner's signature very soon. The attorneys have talked and agreed upon that. So if you are comfortable with it, you could make a motion that once that one signature is received, that you could take over the road. Or you can wait.
What's your pleasure, gentlemen? Okay, so how about we,
How soon is this, the last person expected to sign?
He is the
He's the owner.
developer.
He's
and
the owner of the road.
Current owner. I believe he's very much in favor of it. I think it was an oversight in the preparation, but I have not spoken with him, so I cannot say that with any certainty.
They've put in quite an effort to get this far.
They have.
I recognize that only because I tried this in my own neighborhood. It's like herding cats.
Mhm.
To get everybody to sign up, it's awesome. I'm fine with making a motion to accept the road upon the last guys signing, if that's what it takes to get it across the finish line.
yeah, I would prefer to do that only because 'tis the season.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do it, let's get it on the schedule and.
Yep.
Okay, do we make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
So,
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Fire department elections. So the fire department has sent their election information for us to approve. They had 2 open positions, the second lieutenant position, which they are requesting to leave vacant, and only to be filled if the chief deems it necessary. They had nominations for a captain, Dame Diet, I hope that's how you say his last name, sorry Dame if I've screwed up your last name. And Dame accepted and was voted in as the captain of the fire department. So they request our, or they need our approval as an officer of the fire department.
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sharon, can I ask for some further information?
Yes.
Can you get information on how many active roster members there are for the fire department and how many voted?
I can.
Thank you.
Should be listed on there who was there.
It's 24 active rostered members.
There is.
That's the max.
That's what's on their list that they take home.
Oh,
There were 12 fire department members, 1 auxiliary member there.
not bad, so you got
And speaking of the fire department will be lighting the trees in the park out here, which I believe they've taken care of because I believe I saw those lights on the way in. So, thank you to them for that. It always brightens the spirit in town. Another FYI, there is no shooting allowed in the village limits. We have had an incident where 3 people decided that it was a good idea to shoot toward the St. Armand Road from the park and ride. Yes, they got their little deer, but how many lives did you put in danger when you did it?
Scared me.
Yeah, it was so loud they could hear it inside the building here. That is not acceptable. I know the game warden has visited those people and the state police have said that the land wasn't posted. Well, we do have an ordinance of not shooting in the village center, and we sure to heck don't want you shooting toward people's homes. Smarten up, people. This is not baby games. If you were to injure a child, I'm thinking the most of this town would want to see you hang. So let's use a little common sense, especially when we're carrying guns. Very disappointing. We also have the Lampkin Street property that was for sale. We have been advised by our attorney to do a quitclaim deed for a number of reasons. The potential buyers are asking for a warranty deed. I would suggest that we take our lawyer's advice because we pay him for that information and he has not steered us wrong yet. So I would say that we go back to the table to negotiate with the possible owners, and if that fails, that we would put that back up for sale. So can I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, the town of Highgate is into Christmas, which is pretty exciting. So the library on December 10th, which is this Saturday, next Saturday, 4:30 to 7:30 p.m., they are having Santa's Village. Holiday lights, hot chocolate, cookies, story time with Santa, Mrs. Claus, a reindeer meet. Goodness gracious, they're having a real reindeer. It's free admission. It's a great thing for the kids. It's a great thing for adults that love Christmas. Come and enjoy. The library does a great job and their programming is fabulous. And then we have our wonderful recreation department. And they're doing theirs on September 18th.
December.
Did I say December?
Not September.
You
Oh,
said
sorry.
September.
She's so excited.
I am so excited. So we have Sunday, December 18th, from 2:30 to 4:15. You can skate with Santa. He'll be there in full glory. Bring the kids, bring yourselves, bring your skates. And when you do that, you can go right into, at 5:30, the Highgate Holiday Light Parade. We will be lining up at the arena or the school? At the school, okay. Great time had by all. They're requesting people to come in and jazz up their vehicles. Doesn't matter whether it's a tractor, a bus, a tractor trailer, your lawnmower, whatever you got, throw some lights on it, come join us.
When will you have a route tie?
Monday night, but it sounds like it's gonna be similar
Similar
to
to last year.
last year.
Okay.
That was great last year.
Yeah, everybody enjoys it, and it's nice to get your town spirit on. And then, still with the Parks and Rec, deck your homes. So deck the homes. So jazz out your home, your business, your garage, your neighbor's garage with holiday lights, and entered into the light contest. The group of elves will go around display to display, but you need to register with them. There are prizes. The elves will be going around on the 15th, 16th, and 17th to check out your lovely displays. So get in the mood, shine a little light on it, and people come up with the craziest and the greatest ideas. It's fun to go around. It's I'm assuming you'll have a route once we get the,
Yeah,
so that people can go around and take their families on a ride and see all the entrances. Back to the fire department. On the 18th again. 18th is a busy day. Just plan on being out all day long with your kids. Santa Day. Santa is coming to Highgate not only for the public skate, but to the fire department. And from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Santa will come and photographs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounded almost like
You can have your photo with Santa. Yeah.
I think I saw there was gonna be horses too.
There is a horse-drawn wagon rides as well. So come out and see Santa. He's coming to town at 10 p.m. and I think he's staying right through
10
till 9.
a.m.
10 a.m., sorry. I am.
You went in eggnog too early.
There you go. I like me some eggnog. So yes, we have lots of great stuff going on for Christmas.
Not September, right?
Yeah, that's right. And just a note, as Shelley said earlier, there are lots of programs to help people right now. And I think we all that work for the town and who live in the town worry about our neighbors. There are times when people can't pay their bills, not because there's anything wrong with them, just because sometimes poop happens. There are organizations to help, whether you're homeless, whether you're in need of food. For food, there is options in town. The Highgate Methodist Church has a food shelf. The library also has a small food shelf. Sheldon has an excellent food shelf that some of our residents have used before. The Abenakis have a very good food shelf as well. There are options Don't let pride keep you from having food for yourselves or your children. If you are homeless, there are options. There is the Samaritan House and there are other options for you. Reach out or have a family member reach out, and I'm sure that there's help available. LIHEAP is a program that the state is running for heating. So there's lots of programs. Please reach out to the town office if you're not sure what to do. Don't go to your last wit's end before you reach out. One of the best things about living in a small town is people help each other here. And that includes all of us. You know, if you need help, there is someone in this town who will make sure you get help. Keith, I know you've done it for a number of people, and God bless you for it. I mean, Richard, I know you have too. There are many, many people that give a damn in this town, and that's the best thing about Highgate. So I will open it back up for public comment, because a few of you didn't get here quite in time, so go ahead, Sue.
I'm just a messenger, just remember that. One of the questions that was brought to my attention by a resident was, you guys were over there for the voting. One of the questions that was brought to my attention, why isn't it here? I'm just asking because this question was brought to my attention. Because when the kids are going in and out for hockey practice, I know there's directions, there's noise. I'm just asking a simple question because this was a question that was brought to my attention.
This year, we had 0 interruptions with skaters because
Okay.
the communication between the rec, the Maha board, the parents and the students must have been excellent.
Okay. So
They all knew what door to enter and exit. There was not any interruptions.
that was one of my questions.
Here, you've seen accidents almost happen just at these meetings.
Yes.
Yeah, parking is
Parking
terrible.
and traffic
Okay.
flow is
It's-
ridiculous. I had one election here.
It would
and I
be
won't do
great
again.
if we had the space, not inside, but outside,
Okay.
and actual flow of traffic, where the head-ons,
This was just brought to me
this space would be great, but
because of the
the
parking
parking is,
and the communication going in and out of the driveways.
Because
and
one
stuff.
whole side of the building is off limits. We can
Yeah, because of the fire
we need to
department,
keep those
right.
open.
in November and March, we never know what the weather's going to be.
Right.
So if the plows are in and out of here, that's dangerous.
It's just, this was brought to
Yep.
my attention and now I can just tell this person.
You got it.
Okay, another one of my questions, and you can get back to him, he said I can use his name, is Jerry LaBrie, wanted to know why you guys are closed on Friday afternoon. He asked me, and he said I could use his name, I'm just asking a question, because he asked me about this.
Well, he asked me and I told him point blank.
Okay, I got it
That is
covered.
when we actually get things done and uninterrupted.
Okay.
We are here working.
See, I'm in the pile, okay. It's just, you have talked to him, perfect.
Oh, I did.
Perfect.
We are open at lunch like you asked. Get off our backs.
Right.
We are here, we are working. That is when we processed ballots all of October.
When you were working. Oh, and I'm
It's
glad
the
you
most
talked-
yes.
productive day of the week.
It really is.
It's true, people don't realize how many interruptions, and then you have to think about, okay, where was I?
Yes,
So you've already talked to him, that's good.
I did. I might talk to him again too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Okay,
People are welcome
any
to
other-
run for our
That's it.
positions
That's right.
anytime.
So the last thing is that time of year, please be careful on the roads. Look out for our crew, Nick and Luke are here tonight. Give them the space they need. We do not have a dry road or clear road policy in Highgate. There's gonna be snow on the road. Leave early for work. take your time, don't bitch at the highway, they do a great job. So, anything else? Okay. Thank you all for coming.